Hello and welcome to Rauta. I'm Jerry, and this time on Vinyl Monday we have a Norwegian split release. This is first of all a special release or special review in the sense for a couple of reasons. First of all, this is a little bit older EP, shall we call it a split EP by Taake and Whoredom Rife, both good Norwegian black metal bands. And secondly, this is special because I got this as a gift from Höst of Taake last October. Maybe call it a souvenir. I decided to make it into the review because when this was released originally in 2020, of course it didn't make it to the reviews. And that is probably for two reasons. First of all, some labels don't really do that much promotion, and when they do, it's mostly about CDs, or in many cases, digital only. What is the curious case here is that this particular split between Whoredom Rife and Taake is not, as far as I know, available on CD, but only as first digital and then tape and, well, vinyl. So it's very, very fitting for Vinyl Monday, even if more than 3 years late. But as it is always the case, music never gets old, right? So we're here to talk about it. So let's unsleeve it. Here it of course says true Norwegian black metal. No, it doesn't say that, but Taake, Whoredom Rife, Pakt, which means I guess Pakt. 180 gram black vinyl. So let's unsleeve it. And inside you will find, of course, the covers and the vinyl. Here are two good looking best pals here. Let's look grim as hell. And one other great guy, the real king of Norway, as you can see from the crown. Taake side, Whoredom Rife side. And as a true gatefold release, this features some information here. I'll try to get it so closer that you can actually zoom. So here it has an exclusive track by Taake, and then the Sisters of Mercy cover. And there are the recording information, and then you have Whoredom Rife information as well. So a couple of tracks by each band here, and then you get this nice graphic with some people hanging out and a person with a sword. Quite violent take. Inside we will find a booklet, and I'll show you. Nothing here. Now this booklet is beautiful sword, as you can probably see. There's this Taake graphics here, and it is actually a folded poster, more like a booklet. So let's zoom it out a little bit, and as you can see, this is more people hanging out. Even the sun is baffled. What the hell is happening here? And the dude is like, okay, here is a candle for you, might be a little bit too late to your reading party. And Whoredom Rife down there. Beautiful image. And on the other side you will find nothing but Terratur Possessions, a cult label from Norway. Also pals by these bands. Funny dude, that Ole of Terratur. Man of many connections, networking and all that stuff. Then we have this sleeve for the actual vinyl. No surprise there. I'm surprised to see that there are no sex toys. Just kidding. And then we have this real sleeve. So we have here Taake side and Whoredom Rife side. This dust is always here, and now also fingerprints I'm seeing. I mean, I dusted it before making this video because I was spinning it a few times there, you know, on the LP player behind me, the turntable, where is another Taake vinyl awaiting. But still, as always, the dust picks up on the vinyl. It's almost like making love to it. Now everybody knows Taake, so we can pretty much skip this. Band started in 1995 with this name and was preceded with Thule back in the days. And of course, many albums out by now. But this one came in 2020 when there were a bunch of splits, in fact, released by Taake before getting the new full album 2023, which I reviewed recently. And this was done indeed with Whoredom Rife back in the days, early 2020, so almost 4 years ago. And total track length here is, well, album length, MCD, EP length I guess would be the right, is 24 minutes roughly. That is, you have both sides spinning for some 10-12 minutes. And that's the whole thing here. Now, of course, both play a little bit different type of black metal. I mean, Taake has more or less always been a little bit atmospheric side of thing, blending that with grimness. And it's kind of unique, really, because, I mean, Taake is not the rawest band out there, but it's definitely not the most polished out there. And I would say with this particular, well, split, Taake is more on the grim and raw side of things rather than on some of the albums. This is of course a matter of taste, which one you prefer. I prefer this style more than something that Taake has been doing on albums. Overall, Taake is a solid band. There are no clear weak points. But I'll be saying this out loud. I prefer when the songs are more around this style and not getting too lengthy versus some of the tracks which are sometimes going like almost like progressive elements in a way. I mean, they kind of get rambling around and all, where this is more, I guess, focused. Now, Whoredom Rife then again is more the aggressive side of things, and in that sense, also a little bit more raw and grim. Now, because neither of these sides are exactly very polished or highly overproduced and all that stuff, the overall feeling is grim, if not straight out raw and, primitive. And this, in my opinion, works well for both bands. I mean, this EP or split is very, very well balanced in the sense that while the style is different from, either of the bands, it's also that something that it's not like you have copycat bands here. The thing here is they sound different, yet similar in a way. And this actually makes this really nice because when you split sides, when you change from A to B or whatever, you feel like, okay, I'm moving to a different territory. But it's not like you're like, what the hell is happening now? I like the first side. What is this B side? Or vice versa. So this is supposed to cater to both needs. Now, I would guess, this is just a wild guess, and by no means I mean you should think the same way, but some Taake fans might really feel like, okay, why on earth they're going into the raw direction? I mean, they were like soothing and nice and all that stuff, but yet I guess that's part of the deal here with the split, because this is not album material as such, but something different. It's almost like giving a little bit more freedom versus full albums and all. But then again, if you're a true Taake fan, you're probably gonna like it anyway. So what's the deal here? What's the problem? No, there is no problem. And when it comes to Whoredom Rife, I think this is a very, very good business card in case you have never ever heard the band. I've seen them live, I've heard them on album, and I think it's one of the better contemporary Norwegian black metal bands out there. So this is almost like newer and older Norwegian landscapes colliding with one another. It's not about choosing which one is better, but more like figuring out how on earth these two different bands work so well together, because they sound different, yet they kind of fit together. And they are from different cities also, so there is this geographical difference also. But mind you, even if the other band is somewhat newer, the guys are old as fuck anyway. Not as old as me, but still old enough. So there is an old 1990s feeling nonetheless, despite the band ages and all. And how do you know it? Because you do your homework and you figure out which bands are related to these two. Now, off you go. But in case you're a collector or random fan, I think Pakt is definitely worth listening to, definitely worth acquiring. My personal thanks go to Hust for handing me out this beautiful split. It shall go to my collection in my beautiful yet small vinyl collection, and there it shall be until the next time. Now off you go, try to listen to this on digital and then go for the physical product if humanly possible. This is Rauta, this is Jerry, bye bye.